Have there been other people staying there that you know of? Is that what all this stuff is from? This is a close-up of that. Or was that how it was when you were there?
Last time I was there, it looked like there had been hunters or campers hanging out in there.
You just spent some time there?
Yeah.
Because there was a mattress on one of these floors too. It's not in these pictures. It might be just off to the side, because there's a mattress in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
And then, what building is that?
That's the garage. Yep.
There was no running water?
There was, yeah, there was an indoor bathroom too.
Oh, there was? Okay. And then you got a third building?
Yeah.
Did you guys have animals there at one point? Not like dogs and cats, but like animals in one of these?
There were
what was
cows
it, a
there,
barn?
yeah.
That's what they said it looked like, because there was some hay or straw and stuff still around. This was a box, there's that first sheet, was there a receipt on there? You can't really see it in the picture. Did you have a place out there that you really liked?
No, I never bought those.
They said the invoice was the same thing. That's what I thought. I thought it had to go on it. That was my interpretation, but I'll always send out the invoice. Yeah. Bunch of maps.
Any X's on them anywhere?
You look out for it.
X's on them. I like it.
The only map you found that had highlighting on it, I didn't do the highlighting.
Who did the highlighting now?
I don't know.
What about the map that when you
I
were?
think there was one in the car that was highlighted. When I was arrested, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't do the highlighting. That's all. I know that's what they were thinking.
Well, it was the interstate that was highlighted, and
Right.
you don't seem to really be an interstate kind of person.
No, that's just something.
A couple other things. There's a mattress out in the woods. You know what that is from?
No.
There were some clothes under it. There were some women's clothes under it.
Oh, I mean, you're not gonna find anything relevant on this stuff.
They were underneath it.
Kinky.
And then this is a photo from the fire pit area behind the house.
Oh, yeah.
It's a ring. It's like a men's ring. And those are some like, beads from a necklace.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't burned anything in that pit for a long time, so. Anything that you found in there is probably from hunters or somebody hasn't been I put a gate across the road. As soon as my folks moved out of that place, but it only stayed up for a year or two, and then the hunters cut it down.
What are they hunting? What's their?
Like
Was there ever a time that you burned anything of significance in that fire pit?
no, not a
Anything big crimes?
possibly, but nothing. This is all
Nothing
ancient.
like this.
No, this is all ancient. Or I mean, I haven't really spent much time there ever since I was in
So this isn't gonna be a ring to somebody that you need to be worried about them. Have any questions about this stuff? We're gonna get all of this up here, and so once we get it up here, we can pull it out. Like and we'll grab this stuff, just see what that is. What the invoices,
Okay.
some of this other stuff. You know who that belongs to?
Oh, yeah.
We'll bring it in when we get it.
Sure.
So I think that, anything
You
about
said
this?
trip down memory lane.
Yeah,
There it was.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't
anything?
even realize I still had anything in there. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
that's
all
what it
that
is.
stuff was in the garage or something, or?
It was spread out. I think the box was in the garage. I don't remember where some of the other, like the road, some of the other specific stuff, but I know the box, pretty sure the box was in the garage.
Huh.
And I think, let me jump into this, quick, just so I have this stuff laid out to show you. Is this place look familiar?
Yeah.
I think we maybe even showed you these before. I don't know
No,
if we
I
did
saw
or
the
not.
ones that were down.
Okay, yeah, these
Was that
were,
as they found it?
yeah. They might have pulled something away.
Just so you
or-
could see where,
Okay.
about where it was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought I kind of camouflaged it.
Yeah, that was to like walking up on it, you can see
Okay.
it. We got a report, we got all this stuff, sent it into the lab, so we do with everything that we get, and, on the tray that holds the ammo in there, there's a perfect right thumbprint. For Israel piece.
Yeah, right.
No, there is. I don't have the lab report back.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So, more CSI stuff.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Well, I'm disappointed in myself mostly, but I'm slightly.
The lab examiner called me. I don't have the report yet. When I get the report, I'll show you the report, but I'm not BSing it. It was on one of these two on the plastic tray inside.
Huh. Plastic tray, huh?
Like this must be the plastic, like a bottom view of
Yeah.
the top view of it.
Okay.
Slides into that cardboard sleeve.
Well, it was kind of in a hurry, I guess. Whatever. I'm too lazy to even dig a hole for that one. Just piled rocks on
Were you planning on going back for that?
Yeah, this summer. That was a good trip. I still can't get over the disappeared house in Vermont.
You have big plans for this summer? Back there?
Well, I'm gonna go back there. I just picture driving up, looking everywhere for that farmhouse and not being able to find it.
To burn it down?
Yeah, that would have been fun. But you guys did that for me.
Speaking of Vermont.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vermont, we were talking to Vermont on Monday. They want to know what's going on. And they are interested in filing charges if they have been all along.
That's what I don't. Well, like I've said all along, my cooperation on other crimes is dependent on what's going on with the crimes that I'm already charged with. And I said that all along. As far as maybe interested in the process, what should we say?
Well, you know it, and we've talked about this quite a bit. Vermont, be willing to be patient with the characters or the residents of the we don't care about that from the perspective of the victims. Vermont does, and so there's a way to meet in the middle by giving something that they can then have. No, they don't need to know the details of it, but they need to know we've gotten some details so that they can continue to hold on.
I just don't understand why, even from a legal perspective, I don't understand what the hurry is or what their issue is as to why they want to file charges, additional charges, when I'm clearly already charged with substantial ones.
Well, in Vermont, you've got state prosecutors who right now have an unsolved, according to the public, unsolved murder of the couriers. Right? So the law enforcement is under a lot of pressure.
We get calls from the press that they're telling us every week, so different state prosecutors are elected, so I think they probably feel more of an obligation to, inform the public than, people appointed with lifetime prosecutors.
Right. But since they called off the search for the body, as far as the public knows, they can't even definitively say that it was a homicide. I know they already told everybody it was.
They know that, Vermont knows that.
Right, they know.
So Vermont, as you guys, let's just be a really realistic approach to it. If you're a state prosecutor in Vermont, you want to come out and say, hey, here are the charges we've got the guy, case solved. That's what you want to do.
Right.
So you need to give them a reason to say, don't do that.
If you don't want her to do that. I mean, if that's the...
Well, like I say, my perspective at this point is they're asking for a reason, for me to give them a reason not to do that, and I have no reason to suspect that at this point that any information, any further information I give is going to be used or portrayed to the media in the way that I'm told it will be or won't be, just because that's the way it's played out so far. So if they're saying I guess what I'm saying is, from my perspective at this point, it's a one-way street, and initially I thought there were ways that I could manipulate this situation, this case, all the related cases, to my benefit and on my timeline by withholding information and giving information out. And obviously, over the last few months, I came to the realization that I can't do that, not realistically. So,
Is that your real reasoning?
yeah.
We've talked about for a while, an idea of this whole resolution on the courier case, being able to kind of structure that disposition of
problem is I don't have any typical demands, or there's not anything you can offer me. And I realize that now. I realize that there's more to these cases than the people who sit in this room, and we're not the ones who pull all the strings on this. I'm realistic about that. And because of things that have happened over the last couple of months, I just feel like there's a lot of information that I've given out to date that 20/20 hindsight I wouldn't have given out, because I feel like now, no matter what I do, it's going to become public anyway. Whereas if I hadn't given it out, it wouldn't have, because you wouldn't have it the information to give out in the first place.
Well, I mean, from our perspective, we've done a lot to respect your wishes about keeping the publicity low on this case, and I think if you recall, you told us that yeah, you understand that we've done that. Now over time, as things have slowed down and we haven't learned about the crime, then the FBI and authorities around the country have to take certain steps. Right? I think the search warrant is an example that they said, hey, look, give us a reason to tell their bosses why they didn't need to do a search warrant at the released house. Why they didn't need to move forward, but they didn't have any reason. So I think you can see that we can have a lot of control when we have some information from you and cooperation from you. If we don't, then we all lose control.
And even Vermont's letter that I recall, they had this letter about, all right, you provide this, and we just kind of sit back and we don't get involved. And we have to get the rest of that letter. And I think what happened in Vermont after that was sort of a function of, we're sort of not going along with that deal. And so I think that's what ended up happening there. I understand your perspective, but at the same time, I think there is a way to structure a deal around the couriers to satisfy some of your goals. Maybe not every one of them, but we can't do that unless we sort of have an exchange for future cooperation. Here's what I want to happen in the courier case. If we have that, I think that's a little bit more concrete to that.
The only reason the courier case has even become an issue is because of me wanting to keep control of that situation before it became a situation. That's why we talked about it in the first place. The loose ends, whatever you want to call it. That was my concern. As far as long-term, clearly the whole situation is going to turn into longer term than I anticipated, even from my perspective. And so my position on it at this point is, you're asking for more information, and I am still waiting to see what happens with the information I've already given. So essentially, what can happen is, it becomes a one-way street until I see what comes out the other end on some of these other issues.
Well, we're also looking at, from what you expressed earlier, the time frame. You all said we're going to be sitting here a year from now, and this was going back 4 months or 5
Yeah.
months. So we're getting a lot closer, I think, to the year from now, because we've also talked about the way that Vermont initially came out. We were all kind of hadn't fully prepared for what could happen in Vermont, right? You've said it, we've said it, and we've learned things from how we dealt with Vermont that would not necessarily be repeated in other jurisdictions. So we have information about many other jurisdictions. We can approach them without even
breach of trust, because I know we don't trust each other, but based on initial things that were said verbally, nothing in writing, I know we didn't have agreements hard and fast, I just feel like, you know, especially with the last search warrants that were executed, it was done in a way that was clearly contrary to what my initial intentions were for the way this whole thing would play out. And, you know, I hear what you're saying as far as it has to be done, but what I'm doubtful about is the motivation for doing it. Your motivation, or the FBI, whoever sanctioned that, their motivation for doing it in the way that they did it.
Well, hey, like you said, you know, you're going to be suspicious of us, we're going to be suspicious of you, but frankly, when we sat down in this room, everyone here has tried to play straight with you. And I think if you understand the reality of the situation, and you're a pretty reality-based guy, I mean, you understand how the world works, is, you know, once you stop telling us significant information about other crimes, then these guys couldn't control what the rest of the FBI is going to do. And the playbook says, you know, if you've got a serial killer, you're going to have to go through that house, right, with a fine-tooth comb. Even though they can say, hey, Israel's told us there's nothing there. Well, you know, they're going to do it. And the only way to hold that off is to say, well, look, he's cooperating, he's giving us information. But when you stop, then there's going to be consequences. We're trying to be reality-based about this thing. We've always given you what we thought was actually going to happen in the real world. And it's the same thing from Vermont. You know, if we had had more information in Vermont, maybe Vermont would have been a whole lot more quiet and cooperative. As it is, they've been really cooperative, right? They haven't filed any charges, but, you know, how long can we hold on to them without another piece of information? So,
You know, I mean, you're a reasonable person, don't you think it, use somebody else for an example, like this type of case, someone who's not cooperating and not talking with law enforcement, don't you think that this would have been viral across the United States, every place you've ever been? Don't you think that, I mean, if you hadn't been talking to us, we don't have any other choice but to try to do it on our own and use all the information that we've put together about you and your whereabouts and put it out to those communities for help. And we haven't done that because you've been talking with us. I mean,
Even the stuff that we've done, I mean, you guys did, I think, a pretty good job, even on the search warrants. There were statements in the press that we're looking for evidence of other crimes. You know, no one stood in front of a camera and did that. I mean, the cameras, you know, may have shown up, but no one said a word, you know, in hopes of still moving forward on this.
I mean, you only be so discreet about doing something on like a street that's 6 houses long.
Well, especially if you block it off.
Yeah, I mean, but well, we were trying to prevent people who we didn't want there to, you know, to getting into that, but you can't stop.
I'm just saying, yeah, you've got to go by your playbook, but I refuse to accept that there weren't ways you can have been more discreet or more, you know, that's just my impression. I have nothing to go on other than what I see and my gut feeling on stuff at this point, because I feel like I get the trickle-down bullshit from all parties involved. So, you know, that may or may not be the case, but that's just where I feel like I'm at right now.
right, we can't change your feeling, but we can, I mean, we've always come into this room trying to give you the straight scoop. And we've tried to deal with you that way, because we know that you're a smart guy and you know how the world works. And what I'm sensing, what you're telling me now is you're trying to, you know, look at us as if we've been, you know, manipulating you somehow.
No, I don't think anyone in this room has been manipulating. That's not my concern right now. My concern, you know, you're asking for more information. You talked about it going viral. If I give you, if I give you any more information and it somehow gets out and it gets in the paper again, you know, one more snippet of information could push the whole thing over the edge, you know, and then for the time being, as many times as it's been in the paper and there's still all this speculation, it hasn't really taken off.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I know it's because you haven't been giving official statements that you could, which I do appreciate that aspect of it. What I'm saying is, until I know what's gonna happen with certain current issues, my big concern is that, another rumor gets out. It doesn't have to come from you, just another rumor from somebody, I don't know. And then, I'm no longer in touch with all the different, I don't even know what's being said, in the media or what has been said about the stories. I see little snippets here and there, but, that's my concern, is that, if something else were to get out, and especially in a different area or something, then, and now there's the whole Nia Bay aspect of it now too, it's like, my kids live in Nia Bay now, and gossip is the town pastime, so that's my concern right now, is it doesn't even have to be, I feel like at this point, it wouldn't even have to be something that was confirmed, it could just be a rumor, and
Well, you're not gonna get rumors coming out from us than you have so far. The stuff that's come out is when when the people outside of this room feel like that you're not being forthcoming.
Right, I know.
And we can be advocates for how we want to pursue this case, but we need something. We need material, we need currency, we need something to advocate with. And that's that's exactly what we've told you for the last 6 months or more.
Yeah, I understand that.
So,
What about, just the idea of, and then just maybe along the lines of what you were talking about, just stand down, even just a clue that doesn't give up anything from your perspective, but at least gives everybody something to work with behind the scenes, nothing that we can kind of fill and publicize to the world, but a clue about, one of the past murders that it's really not going to reveal anything, so you're not playing any cards, but at least where then going back to these guys' bosses and to Vermont and saying, look, you've given us a clue in exchange for this sort of discretion for everybody to kind of stand down, so to speak.
Well, first of all, I don't know. You already have.
Sure.
You already have a lot of clues that I don't know about. You have that computer.
So you wouldn't be giving anything away?
I'm just saying I think you have a lot of background on me at this point, I'm sure, that I don't even remember at this point. So,
The bosses above us, though, don't know what's on that computer. Jeff and I know what's on that computer. So let's just use Frank's example for a second. So if you were to give us a clue, they don't know, our bosses don't know what, I'm being recorded. Our bosses don't know what is on that computer. So they're not
won't
gonna
be here
know.
next time.
So they're not gonna know if we already knew that or not.
Vermont doesn't know either. They haven't seen the evidence. So you could be giving us nothing, but at least it's something we report to them.
Something, yeah,
He
exactly.
reported that he committed a murder in X state. Okay, yeah, big deal. It's not gonna give us anything after, given the timeline that you set forward, 14 years, but at least it's some sort of sign of progress. We can go back and say, no, he's actually given us a clue and things are moving forward, and they can sort of feel good about themselves for not doing.
when you say clue, are you talking about giving you names? or
No.
what?
Keep the name, but give us the name of
Or
the
state or something.
state and a timeframe, hey,
You already know some of the states.
sure, but give us something that we.
Doesn't matter.
Progress from where we were months ago, is what we're looking for. I mean, Frank hadn't talked about this clue idea. But something that we don't, obviously, you tell us something we already, have discussed in here, that's not progress.
Because everybody knows what's been discussed in here, but, let's assume it's something from your perspective, you're not giving us anything, because you think, hey, we already have it, it's a clue, and it's just something that gives us credibility that we can report, even though, maybe this is just a fiction. You give us, New York, New Jersey, all right, well, you told us New Jersey. Or, something other thing that we can kind of report back that, allows us a little bit of credibility with the people
something.
Did you find any knives in New York or in the boat? Folding knives, they're about 6 inches long.
I don't know, I think there might have been in the boat. You
think-
told
I
us
think
there
we
was, you
find
thought
out
there was knives in the boat, right?
I think there was a knife.
There's 2 knives that were not in Kimberly's house, and I don't know where they were. I thought they were in that bucket. I thought that they were, I may have left one in New York, or I thought there might have been one in the boat. Just knives that I had from a long time ago. But I haven't seen them in any of the pictures, so I don't think that's Ted or...
I can find out about that boat. I don't think there was a knife on the boat. I don't remember a knife being in the bucket though, in the photos.
The knife that was... Well, there was a folding knife.
And why is that knife important?
Well, it's a folding knife, so, I don't know. You took it apart, you might...
Would there be blood on the knife?
There, well, there might not on it, but maybe inside.
This is the kind that has the handles are actually bolted or screwed to it or something. It's not a solid piece, nothing you can disassemble it in some manner.
Yeah, it's like riveted.
Would the blood be from a long time ago or just the knife?
No, the blood's not from a long time ago, but I haven't carried it for a while, so I couldn't remember where I left it.
Any other places where it might be?
No, I don't.
Well, it was in the boat, it was a long time, a long time ago.
Well,
2005.
right. Yeah, but, I mean, they're both knives that I got before that.
And would those be associated with the Washington murder?
Yeah.
On those lines, while I'm waiting for Ted to respond.
That's the guy that was one of them, but he's going to take a road search.
From Ted, on those lines. We talked to someone out at the lab when we were talking about, when the time comes when you decide that you want to give additional information so that we're prepared on what we need to do to be able to respond quickly. We asked about, what are the chances of if there is someone that is, if there's a body at the bottom of the lake, what are the chances of that body still being intact 7 years later, that kind of thing? What are we going to be looking for, and what do we need to have in place in order to be able to find that? And one of the things that they said, which might be of interest to you, is depending on how the body was put down there, it's possible that the body is actually very intact. If the body was just tied to something and dropped it to the bottom of the lake, there's definitely still going to be long bones and that kind of stuff. You won't have finger bones and that kind of stuff. There'll be femurs and long bones and that kind of thing. If the body was contained in something, even a bag of some sort, it's very possible that the body can still be intact, depending on the depth of the lake. All of that determines the kind of equipment that we would need in order to locate the body. And so, obviously not asking for details about where and who and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of the Washington bodies, were they contained in something, or were they just tied to the milk jugs? I mean, is it something where we might possibly actually still get it intact? No. And that's helpful for them to know, because that's a whole different type of search that it would have to be done in different types of equipment. Let me just try to call them. Let's step out and try to call them. This is not answering this question.
And do you, I guess, because I'm kind of getting a different vibe now, I just want, do you still envision in the future us working together to the point where we can get this information?
Yeah, I don't see how we're gonna get anything else done. I just,
I mean, I know you're waiting for, whatever you're waiting for to find out, but
yeah, I have concerns with current issues, but, I can definitely foresee down the road, there's gonna be a lot more that can be resolved.
and that's good.
By going about it in a different manner.
Okay, well, but that's good information, because we'll be able to pass that on, and
Yeah.
you're still open and you're still,
No, I haven't. My outlook on this, as far as the ultimate end result, hasn't really changed. It's just, has more to do with timelines, expectations, I guess.
but, and the balancing game that we're talking about doing is we're just trying to keep everybody happy the best we can till we get to that point, and that's kind of a difficult balancing act for us.
Right. And it sounds like you're holding on to some of this stuff to trade in for something you might need later. True?
Well, yeah, because I'm not gonna have much else to.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is, this whole clue idea, might give us a little short-term solution to kind of keep this thing moving the way we want it to move. And maybe even gets you something in the short term, if you're thinking about, like, I don't know, you come, you give a clue, and, you want lunch or something like that. I mean, that's something that can be worked out.
You need a candy bar.
I know, that's what I think, I don't know if he feels guilty about it, but.
If you had a cigar, you'd probably pass out if you had a cigar right now.
But I mean, the notion of this whole idea is, hey, you come over, we keep things going, at least on a smaller scale. You're not giving up anything in terms of trading value, but you're giving us credibility with other people we have to deal with. You're not giving us any useful information really, other than, all right, well, we got, a night in Washington. It's not like we're gonna solve the clue game on that, like, Professor Plum in the library, that kind of thing. But it gives us a little bit of, stuff to go back with people and buy time and buy what we need to buy. And, in the short term, if you have short-term needs that you think, it might be fun to have sushi. That's something that can be arranged. We're not talking about, huge clues here.
What did you guys find in the boat? Was there anything left?
I thought we went over,
Yeah.
Ted and Colleen went over that.
I saw the list.
There was no knife. Oh, you mean in terms of the lab?
Yeah.
It has not, everything has not gone to, finished up at DNA yet. So it's possible that there were some areas that did test positive for blood, just when they do like they call it a presumptive test, when the people that were searching it. So those things went into the lab, and some of those things were like the screws from holding the carpeting in, and that kind of thing. Those have not come back yet from DNA. The little, there were some little fragments that they thought might have been bone fragment, was not bone, did not test positive for bone. That one's come back.
Sand or something.
Yeah, we didn't ask what it was, but it wasn't bone.
Right.
There's some hair that is not yours. But the way they figure out hair.
I was mostly curious if they come in before.
Yeah, there
I
was.
just wasn't sure how long, because it's been sitting there in the rain for so long. I was curious if there was, I know there was when I parked it.
Yeah, there was. We haven't heard anything back about it, and then they need something to compare it with.
very similar to the one that I had on me when I was arrested. Just a different place, same company.
If I'm correct about that, that was the murder weapon for one of the Washington murders.
Well, it was involved.
It was involved.
I think we talked about before, when we were asking about federal jurisdiction about guns. Were any of either of those victims shot? Strangled.
We'll get the whole story eventually.
You should get parts of it in the,
No, the only person I ever shot was Bill Curry.
everybody else is strangled.
Yeah.
Or, I don't want to have the wrong impression, you know, so everybody else is strangled or those are something else.
So one of the Washington things that was, it's just, no, it wasn't strangled. I hit somebody in the head, so.
Did you mean to kill them when they died? Is there a struggle when you hit them and they died, or did you mean to kill them that way?
No, I wasn't trying to kill him, I just, keep him out of action.
I think we read that in one of those letters, which was the male and female couple.
Yeah. I sort of, I don't know. Rich mentioned that they gave you all that stuff. I should have asked them to give me copies so I know which ones you have.
We could go over that together and you could fill in the blank at some point in time.
Well, we know in
I
Washington.
didn't realize they were allowed to take stuff out of my cell that I wasn't naming. That was pretty good.
Well, we know from that there was a couple in Washington State, a male female couple. We read that in the bill. Are those the same couple from that you took to the boat and dumped in the lake? Or are there others?
Well, they went in that hole.
No.
Yeah. They were buried.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was a long time ago. Right after the military, is that right after the military? You told me once right after the military, after you got out of the military.
It was before I got the boat.
And you had told us one time that, you know, it wasn't long when you got out of the military that you killed somebody, and it was that sort of feeling that you needed to do something that was hard to resist.
Is it fair to say that we're looking at a lot more around the Washington area than not? Just the two in Washington?
No, there's a couple. There's a couple in Washington, and then the two that are in the boat. Is that right? if we can't find this knife, it's unfortunate that they can give us much to go on.
And if we took, I know we had some knives, I don't know what all we had.
I got something from Kimberly.
Is it possible it was that Kimberly?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it for several years.
Could be in a different Washington cache.
No.
The Wyoming one you talked about?
A couple of husband and wife, you know?
I'm not gonna talk about this.
What about other caches, like another cache?
Well, the other caches aren't related to any, I mean, that one in New York was the only one directly related to the murder as far as I know. The guns, some of the guns were stolen.
So that would give us something to go on if there was a cache that they could go and retrieve.
Yeah.
That would keep, I
Everybody
think that would
likes
keep the
very
FBI busy.
Yeah. I'll have to think about which ones I'm going to part with.
That's right.
If you thought
It all still belongs to me.
Have a-
so you
have a
know
candy
about
bar.
it.
If you thought of one that you wanted to give up, that maybe we might be able to work something out with our video.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, that's another issue, is there, the others I can't find just with satellite map, so
We'd have
I
to
can
do
give you
that.
general areas.
Yeah, well, if you gave them a general area, they could probably get some.
We just have to have enough information to get a hold of, you know, the tech person that.
That covers that area.
Right.
So again, you know, be a cache, it's not related to anything, so you're really not giving up any of your cards to trade with.
Well, that's the issue, they're all related to stuff, they're just, yeah, I just have to think about it.
Well,
I want to try and remember what's in.
Yeah, well, it's sort of interesting for you too, you'll get to see what's in there and you'll get to see them again.
Yeah, and then it'll be
Maybe
like one of those oh shit moments, once you dig it up and I see what's in there.
Israel, there's been too many oceans.
Yeah, well, I've had enough, I've had my share for the year.
Well, you know, this is just the way. Well, why don't you, if you were able to do that, I think that's gonna buy us, give everybody something to do, and people like to have something to do. If they can, keep digging up a cache, and then you'll get to see how the video works, and you'll get to see what's in there.
How long does a body last in a freshwater lake? I mean, 'cause there's no critters that eat
It depends how,
bodies in
it depends how
freshwater lakes, right?
deep, I learned a lot.
It depends how deep the
Depends how deep it
temperature of
is,
the water.
and if the body's contained in something.
And it's not critters, it can be like,
Bacteria.
Yeah.
Organism.
They were talking
So
about.
if the water's below, say, 45 degrees all the time.
I would think that would be good. I think you said they up to 80 feet at one point in time.
No, there's one that's a lot deeper than that.
Like 200 feet.
So we should like get a submarine.
Or deeper. Deeper than 200 feet.
You guys know about Lake Crescent in Washington?
How deep is it?
I think that lake is 500 to 700 feet deep. They've never been to the bottom of it. There's people who've gone off that lake, and they still haven't found their cars or anything.
And that's the lake.
That's one of the lakes.
So this is really deep, so this maybe never gonna be able to recover.
Well, it's
Man,
over
submarine.
200 feet.
I said 500 feet.
That's
the
the
lake.
deepest part, but I'm
Oh.
saying, I don't know how deep it was. I know the general area. I had a fish finder, but it didn't register how deep it was. I just know like it was over.
Maxed out at 100 feet.
Oh, is that your fish finder goes to
I
100?
think, I don't remember. I just know if you've been to the lake, you would see what I'm talking about. Like, drops down like a V, so. depending
But you
how-
didn't go to the 500-foot place as far as...
No, I wasn't, I was near the edge, but, 30 feet out from the bank on that lake, it drops down to 50, 60 feet already, and I was, anyway.
The lab was talking about a case recently, actually, where they recovered a car that had been submerged in water. I don't know how deep it was even in, but it was a relatively cold lake, and because it had been submerged and water still got in, but critters and other things weren't able to get in the car, and that was in the 40s, in the 1940s, and part of the body was still intact, because the person was protected by the car. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But there will definitely, even if there wasn't skin or things like that, long bones can be recovered. It's really small bones.
Yeah, I know.
But if there's other specifics in terms of things that you know of depths and temperatures and that kind of stuff, you can certainly do some phone calls and find out what.
Well, I figured you would have guessed that, but that was pretty obvious. But, I always have been curious as to what, I would think as deep as that lake is, it's probably sitting there just exactly as it was when I first touched on it. Could be. I know most freshwater lakes that deep, there aren't even that many fish that go down that deep.
But that one's not in anything, it's just ropes or something holding it.
Is that the milk jugs?
Well, that's what the weights were.
Milk jugs, how many milk jugs? Is it gonna move around?
No.
How many milk jugs?
At least 4 or 5, I think.
Just for one bottle? Well, what about a cache that they can work on for next week?
Well, the easiest would be Washington. But I don't know my way around there a little better.
The agents are ready.
But I have to, I'll think about it.
I'm trying to remember what's in it.
Do you want them to line it up? That's the thing, we can't make the decision that day because they won't have time to, they won't have time to line it up.
You think
Oh,
about it
you mean
over
the
the
live
weekend.
feed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you think about it over the weekend or something,
Yeah.
And if there's anything you want, like,
Can you give me like an hour on the internet, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Before we do this.
You want an hour on the intro?
You do a little research. I've been an info blackout for too long.
I think that's, you think about that, and if there's anything you want short-term in terms of.
I was joking, I wouldn't do that anyway.
No, I'm not talking about the internet, I'm talking about, like, yeah, if you want some sort of, all right, I'm gonna do this, but,
you wouldn't
I
do
want
that on the
lunch.
internet if we set a computer down here?
No, because I know you're just gonna go right to everywhere I went.
I wouldn't do that to you.
No.
But yeah, no, anything, to kind of satisfy any short-term goals you have, even if it's just food or coffee or, whatever, obviously get coffee anywhere, but, again, it's sort of a situation where I think you're not giving up anything, you're just giving us help with whoever we need to persuade, and
Right.
I think it's,
No, I can see I see your point of view, I do on this, but at the same time, I have my own frustrations right now as well, so.
But even, like, this is productive, this would be viewed as productive, I mean, you said you came over, we got stuff, and so.
It's only productive from a non-prosecuting attorney's point of view.
It's productive to us.
Elvis, you already got me on enough stuff, it's okay. Okay.
You know,
I'm not getting out on bail anytime
You keep
soon.
thinking that I'm not trying to work with you, I am, but from my perspective, Israel said he's gonna do a lot of things on a short time frame, and we've been sitting here
Yeah,
looking
well,
months away, and
Believe me, I'm aware of the month clicking. I'm just, having an appreciation for things being done at a different speed, that's all.
So let me just make sure I'm clear on the cash. Do you have a general area now that you can give us, or do you want to think about it?
Washington, right?
But I mean, even
Oh,
there's,
the two
it's a big
districts.
state. And we have offices in a bunch of places, so we have to figure out which office we're working with.
Within 50 or 100 miles of.
Is there anything close to Neah Bay or up
Well,
in that
yeah,
area?
yeah, not near Neah Bay, but in that.
That area? Okay.
That'd be 10, 20.
Outside of Seattle, between Seattle and
Right.
You already met those agents already, so it's not like
Yes.
we're bringing new people.
Did I see that top picture?
There's more pictures from this too, I didn't grab them all. I can print them all out and have them for you next time. I know there were a couple, a lot of gun parts and pieces, but I don't. Okay, I can grab those pictures, that's nice. Okay, so, do you want me to try to set that up for next week? I don't know, I'm obviously not gonna know a day until I'm.
From Port Angeles,
Somewhere.
Yeah, don't set up a time yet, I gotta try and remember.
Once you get the computer, you can look right now.
Where,
It's not gonna help
an
you.
area?
Google, you can look at Google right now if you want.
Well, you know the area, right?
I
He's
know
trying-
the area,
he doesn't-
I'm
he's
trying to remember what's in it.
He's trying to remember what he has.
That's probably not gonna be on Google.
No.
We can tie that together, we'll just, open it up and do like after phone calls.
It's not that impressive, it's just, I'm more concerned about the little stuff that might be in it. Well, things you never thought you'd be talking about. And then, on the Tupper Lake thing, you had agents up there with the cameras, but you just wanted to talk about the bank robbery, or were you?
Well, what we had set up was, we just had them at the bank robbery parking lot to show you the live feed that we could do.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
We didn't have any expectations, but we thought the natural progression, because of
Right.
what we've been talking, would be in that general area, so we wanted to get things moving there.
Right.
You know, and if you wanted to just like pull out of the parking lot and then take us to the river bend, that would all the better.
Well,
But,
yeah, I was just,
You would be driving.
yeah, it would be like you'd be driving. So, because we thought maybe that's how it's gonna have to be eventually, maybe is that you might have to be in the driver's seat, so to speak, to see, you know, landmarks or whatever you need to see.
yeah.
Almost as good as being out.
I'd like to tell you we were gonna drive you to the dig
Yeah.
site and we were gonna show you what we were doing, but
I'm having a harder time remembering roads in Port Angeles when I wasn't. I'm sure I can figure it out.
probably need that computer for an hour or two. refresh it.
No, I just haven't been real.
set it up, we'll just
We'll get them working on it though, because.
get their tech.
Yeah, the tech DP guy has
Their
to
geek
get the
squad.
camera and get everything all kind of set up.
Right.
So we will get that moving and then we can touch base with you at the beginning of next week. And, have a better idea of what your schedule is gonna be like and figure out when we can. And I'll know at that point what their schedule is gonna be, and we can maybe figure out some time that will work.
Yeah, we might be able to have another meeting next
All right, what we may do then, Jeff and I may come by the jail and just figure out that piece that we were just talking about the timing, and then we can go from there.
Leave them, I'm supposed to talk to them all tomorrow, and then just tell them that we need to use our clues and use that to our advantage.
Yeah, I don't really understand the rules on that.
It's frustrating from my perspective.
I mean, hypothetically, if they charge me federally, would they indict me up here? Would they, I just don't understand, considering everything else that's going on, why they would, or how, I guess not why, but how it would work. I don't, just the logistics of it.
Well, they, like I said, they want to be able to have that crime solved.
Right, they want to put my name on it, I
That's right.
understand that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
right.
going to be officially solved till,
Exactly.
I know, but, you know, they want to be able to put your name to it.
Right,
and,
I
you know,
understand that.
And then the question is how that, going to work. Do they want to file charges there? And, that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
And it's a lot easier for them just to stomach it if they, their forbearance is giving rise to clues to other murders, whatever those clues might be. I think
Yeah.
that is able to accomplish our goal.
I understand their perspective, I guess. From my perspective though, even if they were to officially charge me at this point, it's not like it would be real breaking news anyway.
I mean, in some ways it would be, because no law enforcement person has ever confirmed that you're
Right.
attached to that, so.
It would just be confirmation of everyone's current speculation.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm not interested in it from that point, I was just interested in it from a logistics point. Like, where, do they have to fly me to Vermont if they're gonna charge me, or?
Well, that's,
here,
those are some of the questions.
We're hoping not to get there.
Is it warmer in Vermont?
It just got snowed the other day. We talked to them Monday, it just snowed, they told us.
They got more snow than us then.
Yeah.
Got a quota for last year.
Any other questions?
Run the VC up
You
and.
gotta take a week or anything before we take them out. You're not gonna eat this?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.